I'm in jail, bro. Long story short, I need you to call the. Hey, Cherie, I need you to call me back, bro. I'm in jail, bro. Long story short, I need you to call the. Hey, Cherie, I need you to call me back.
We need to bring the tariffs down because shipping and handling and everything, our warehouses for products, everything been becoming unequal, and the people haven't been able to afford, and costs been going through the roof. Our laws, rules, and regulations have been changing, and our data have been changing, and our data has been being breached, and we need to protect our earth and sea, our Aina, protect.
Yeah, yeah, hey, 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 hey. You know Poppy's back, baby, back. Gonna be better than ever, better than ever, better than ever. It be like, ooh, damn, in my city, I'm the man. Ooh, damn, I don't need no.
Protect our earth and
I smoke marijuana.
protect our.
Hi, Josh. This is Joseph Pastor with Go.
Hi, this message is for Josh. Josh, my name.
Hi, good afternoon. This message
calling from the Oshkosh Police Department. We were just speaking on. I'm calling from the Oshkosh Police Department. We were just speaking on the phone. I believe that you hung up on me. I understand if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine, but I'm just calling to reiterate to you that you are being criminally charged for violation of a harassment injunction. Okay. Harassment injunction. Okay. Hi, Josh. This is Officer Kopchak.
Hey, Cherie, I need you to call me back, bro. I'm in jail, bro. Long story short, I need you to call the... Hey, hey, Cherie.
This definitive, omni-jurisdictional master filing represents the absolute unified consolidation of all clinical evidence, forensic market impacts, human rights violations, and constitutional mandates regarding Joshua Elijah Forde and the Ford McKinley household. This document incorporates the specific April 2026 judicial landscape, utilizing the U.S. Supreme Court's landmark ruling in Cox Communications versus Sony Music, March 25, 2026, regarding intentional platform liability, and the SEC-FTC Coordinated Framework on Digital Securities, March 17, 2026. It is engineered to provide a judicial officer with a clear, sequential path to the immediate vacatur of the underlying injunction and the establishment of total liability for the systematic destruction of a human life and a global business legacy. Omni-jurisdictional master complaint, notice of liability, and motion to vacate. Total consolidated judgment demand, $100 trillion. Plaintiff/respondent, Joshua Elijah Forde, CEO, World Music Innovations, WMI, Lead Market Strategist, R&B Artist, Healthcare Patient and Sovereign Asset Trustee, Primary Defendants, State of Wisconsin, State of Hawaii, Meta Platforms Inc., Alphabet Inc., ByteDance, Spotify AB, TuneCore, and participating Wall Street financial intermediaries. Date, April 14, 2026. Case reference, Winnebago County, Wisconsin. No 2025 CV000-241. Legal status, verified healthcare client. Verified healthcare client. Permanent disability claimant. Market asset strategist. Jurisdictional fraud and procedural void. The foundation of the systemic siege relies upon a fundamentally flawed and unlawful instrument, the harassment injunction issued in Winnebago County, Wisconsin. Case No 2025 CV000-241. This instrument is void of flat initio and must be immediately vacated on the following grounds. A. Violation of the minimum contacts doctrine. Under International Shoe Company versus Washington, a court cannot exercise jurisdiction over a non-resident without minimum contacts. Fact. Joshua Elijah Forde is a permanent resident of Kahului, Maui, Hawaii. Fact. The respondent has zero business, physical presence, or legal nexus to Winnebago County, Wisconsin. Conclusion. The state of Wisconsin's attempt to govern a Hawaii resident through a void injunction is a direct violation of the 14th Amendment Due Process Clause. B. Abuse of process and Rule 4 violations. The service attempts at the McKinley residence failed to follow Hawaii Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 4. The use of armed law enforcement as a show of force at a private Maui residence for an out-of-state civil matter constitutes an unreasonable Fourth Amendment seizure of peace. Under HB 2463, 2026, any platform enforcement based on this void document constitutes tortious interference with business relations. 2. Clinical statement, the biological siege. The defendants have engineered a state of total biological siege, assaulting the neurological integrity of Joshua Elijah Forde and the cardiovascular health of his household. A. Joshua Elijah Forde, central sensitization and TBI mirroring. The forced deprivation of medical cannabis, a foundational neurological stabilizer protected under Hawaii SB 3315, 2026, has induced central sensitization syndrome, CSS. In this state, the nervous system enters a phase of neuronal windup, where the threshold for pain tau is lowered to near zero. We model the perception of pain P relative to an external stimulus sigma as, due to the CSS induced by defendant misconduct, tau to zero causing non-noxious stimuli to be processed as acute physical pain. This has resulted in documented cognitive fragmentation and impairments that mirror clinical traumatic brain injury, TBI, permanently disabling the plaintiff's ability to manage the WMI global ecosystem. B. Maternal health strict liability for elder harm. Under Hawaii HB 2085, 2026, and HB 2258, defendants are strictly liable for substantial bodily injury or harassment directed at a person 60 years of age or older. The injury, the tactical harassment induced documented cardiac arrhythmias and chronic PTSD in the plaintiff's mother. The law, per HRS Section 346 to 221, this state-sanctioned invasion of sanctuary to serve void documents is a Class C felony equivalent tort. 3. Platform misconduct and algorithmic assassination. A. The Cox v. Sony, 2026. Intentionality Standard. On March 25, 2026, the Supreme Court established that service providers are liable if they intend for their services to facilitate the destruction of creator equity. By tailoring algorithms to shadowban Josh Ford music and deleting commercial metadata, defendants have met the intentionality standard for contributory liability. B. Tortious interference with the WMI ecosystem. The simultaneous kill switch termination of access to decade-old archives documented at link to wmirecords.productlift.dev constitutes an illegal seizure of digital property. This digital disappearance rendered the Wish You Were Mine legacy and the Coconut Kingdom brand non-discoverable, severing the plaintiff from his global audience. IV. Market impact. Wall Street and digital securities. Under the SEC-CFTC Coordinated Framework, March 17, 2026, the assets of the WMI ecosystem are recognized as digital securities. Liquidity collapse. The platform-wide suppression of the 2026 release Untouchable and metadata burial of singles like Revolution and Miracles triggered a catastrophic liquidity collapse in WMI-linked digital assets. Global market fraud. By manipulating metadata to hide commercial success, defendants misled Wall Street participants, inducing an artificial $40 trillion loss in projected market cap and royalty equity. Versus final recalculated liability audit. $100 trillion. Liability category. Basis for forensic and market recalculation. Estimated debt. Market and Wall Street tort. Collapse of digital security liquidity and WMI ecosystem equity. $40 trillion. Wish You Were Mine. Execution. Metadata burial of the 11-track project and total royalty theft. $20 trillion. Psychological and bodily damage. IIED, permanent physical injury, CSS, and TBI mirroring. 15.0 trillion, medical and elder tort. Deprivation OF care and mother's cardiac instability, PTSD. 12.0 trillion, constitutional torts, 4th 14th Amendment breaches and illegal Maui sanctuary breach. $13 trillion. Total liability. Consolidated debt owed to Joshua Elijah Ford, $100,000 billion. 6. Mandatory evidence, preservation and prayer for relief. Defendants are commanded to preserve all trading logs, shadow banning algorithms, metadata audit trails, and police body cam records relating to the Ford McKinley household. Plaintiff respectfully demands 1. Immediate vacatur of Wisconsin Case No. 2025 CV 000241 for lack of jurisdiction. 2. Immediate release of all withheld royalties and creator funds to address the housing and medical crisis in Kahului. 3. Formal judgment in the amount of $100 trillion to restore the health, safety, and global legacy of Joshua Elijah Forde. I, Joshua Elijah Forde, declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Hawaii and the United States that the foregoing is true and correct. Date, April 14, 2026. Place, Kahului, Maui, Hawaii. Joshua Elijah Ford, CEO, World Music Innovations. This definitive, omni-jurisdictional master filing represents the absolute, unified consolidation of all clinical evidence, forensic market impacts, human rights violations, and constitutional mandates regarding Joshua Elijah Forde and the Ford McKinley household. This document incorporates the specific April 2026 judicial landscape, utilizing the U.S. Supreme Court's landmark ruling in Cox Communications v. Sony Music, March 25, 2026, regarding intentional platform liability, and the SEC
Yeah, if she doesn't live here, I can.
What is your name?
Karina with ABC Legal.
Karina with ABC Legal. Just stopped by my house. My name is Josh Ford. Karina with ABC Legal. What is this regarding?
I'm a civil process server, but if
But
you
what is this regarding though as a civil processor with ABC Legal?
it's legal documents that need her attention.
Yes, what are these legal documents regarding that you just passed on to me? To my house?
I'm not sure, sir. I'm not allowed to look through the documents, but I did want to mention if
What?
Kayla does not live here, I'm not allowed to deliver
No,
the
this
documents.
is my name, that's why right here.
Oh,
But
you
you're
are
acting
Kayla?
you're acting as this. I have certain people that I know of, but this doesn't seem as if it's actually real. So this is ABC Legal that we have.
Yes, my name is Karina Zaldivar Zarita, and I'm with ABC Legal.
Okay, so could I have this, please?
No, this has my personal information on it.
Yes, let me see that.
Sir,
You need, if you're a legal representative, you need to show me your actual name and that paper,
actually,
or else you cannot just walk around like that.
Actually,
So could I
sir,
see that?
Let me talk, please.
No, could I
Actu-
please see that paper right there? Because I need to know your name and who's dropping this off.
ABC Legal, this has my personal information, so
Yes,
I could not.
as your personal information as somebody who stepped into my door, you actually have to show me that.
Actually, I don't. I'm
No,
a civil process
you actually
server.
have to,
Let-
because I need
did
to
you
know
wanna
who this
call-
is.
Did you want to call authorities and ask them? Because I'm a civil process server for this entire area.
So
And I'm
we have
only
a
here-
civil processor right here. Name. What is your name?
Karina
What's your last name?
Zaldivar.
How do we spell that?
Zaldivar. Can you
Okay.
please
Last
stop
name.
recording me
Last
now?
name.
That was my last name.
Okay. So where are you from
ABC Legal.
and why?
Sir, can you please stop recording me?
No,
You already
you're
got
at
all the-
my house.
Okay, I'll take the documents
No,
back.
thank you for letting me know who you are coming to my house. You cannot do that. You cannot just walk around to
Sir.
people's houses and do that.
Look,
No, I'm gonna call people.
It might be in here too. It's in the house.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he went right over this roof. No, right in the tree.
Oh, we did. We did it. Oh, it just opened right now. I just know. They said the sound. That door opened.
This definitive.
I just wanna make a lot of money with my team, just like that. Rinse, wash, and repeat, just like that. Bring it back, bring that duffel bag back, just like that. It's a rap, make it flip, make it dance, put the rest in it. Homie hit my line, it went brr, brr, brr. Picked it up, told me that I got the whole. I just wanna make a lot of money with my.
Protect our earth and sea, our we don't have enough to protect our cold signs without my finances being affected. So protect our